we're off night.
Okay, go ahead.
So, you know how last week we mentioned, I was surprised Rufy hadn't contacted me. I showed you guys, he did contact me after the show saying, oh, I heard you were talking about me. Bruised Ferret, he was called on Twitter, so I wasn't sure who he was. But he got in touch and he did pull out a critique of the book. Do you want to hear it?
Was it the first? That's got to be the first one. I mean, an actual argument that was in the book? You sure? No?
Well, I mean, does it address the argument? No. Does it skip past it and go into full baller retard mode? Yes, but at least the things coming from the book for him to then go into full baller mode, you're going to like this. So I've never heard this one. Let me get a screenshot.
But he had the pirated copy.
No, I think he's probably bought it. Well, the pirate copy or the PDF that's been stolen. That was put out there. Well, either way, is okay. Don't worry. So there's nowhere near that detail. Don't worry. It's nothing like that.
Okay.
Right.
You want me to put it up on screen?
I'm just going to put it into Discord now. I'm just coming back. So I'll put it in this text chat here for this room.
Yeah, it's best to put it in here. QE live text chat. Okie dokie. I'll make it big. All right. So where do I start?
It's just the one that's there. So he's just talking to me. See, look, I said, look, we're going to get some, because I said to him, didn't I? I'm looking forward to a bit of considered appraisal. So he's come up with 5. At 35.2 degrees north, the ground is moving at 849.2 miles per hour. I mean, okay. When it takes off, it keeps the momentum. If it climbs to 35,000 feet, the calculated rotational speed at that latitude will be 850.6. Therefore, the speed at which the Earth turns underneath the plane is 1.4 miles an hour. Do you understand? Brilliant. I mean...
He said yes/n or y/n with it too. That was priceless. Yeah. You glue sniffing idiot, you. Rufy. Should we circle one? Nice. I
love it. I absolutely love it. He's not prepared to violate first law of thermodynamics violation and for it to maintain the increased rotational speed because of the increased circumferential value. But it will go and take off at 849.2.
But there's some more detail that he left out here. Now, the ground is moving at 849.2 miles per hour from west to east. Where's the plane taking off from? Is the plane taking off towards the west? That would probably be a little important. So what he's saying here is if the plane is taking off in a westerly direction, then the plane's flying backwards.
Yeah. If it takes off at 100, let's call it 200 miles an hour. It takes off at 200 miles an hour. Right, it's technically not taking off at 200 miles an hour. It's going backwards at 649 miles per hour as it takes off.
Yes. Yes. He pulled a Danny T. Truther. Is what he did right here. Glue sniffing Rufy. My God, son. Just take the next 3 days off, then quit. Okay.
Is he referring to what would be the rotational velocity at San Francisco?
35.2 degrees north, so yeah, that probably is.
Sounds like San Francisco. Something like that. Or maybe he's referring...
Now, he's referring to the example in the book. So the plane is definitely taking off from San Francisco to Hawaii. So the plane is definitely flying west. Now, it could be west-southwest, but it's still going west, meaning that plane is flying backwards on takeoff.
Well, it's definitely flying southwest because, west-southwest because Hawaii's at the equator.
Yes.
You know, so, now, but see, this is the thing. I actually addressed it in my last video. I've addressed it in the past with the borders, in videos. Once you're flying in any way south, right, within that paradigm that they try to promote, the problem is that the wind velocity at each of that, what they would call parallels, right, which is in reality latitudes, right, the wind velocity at each parallel as you're traveling south, right, is greater because it's got a bigger radius. You know, the angle, the amount of degrees it's claimed to rotate, you know, sidereal degrees is the same, but I know there's nothing sidereal degrees.
Oh my God.
Right, but well, if you just leave me finish rather than complaining, it'd be great. Thanks. But when people are traveling south, you know, towards the equator, then you're dealing with a greater wind velocity from latitude to latitude within the parameter. So there's no way. Like he's trying to invoke when the plane goes higher, it's dealing with a bigger radius. What about the bigger radius at each, you know, changing latitude south? There's no way out of it. It means that the Hawaii is moving at a greater wind velocity than San Francisco on your globe. There's no way out of it.
So, do you understand, Adam? Can you circle no? Is there anything else on here?
I think I'm free to type any rebuttal I wish, but I just thought it was quite funny. I didn't have the energy to explain it to him, but I just thought I'd mention it here because, you know, it's quite novel, isn't it? Exactly as it flies backwards. Maintaining its linear. I don't know. Is it angular momentum or linear momentum? He wasn't quite specific on that magic force that's going to mean the plane can take off while it's going backwards at 650 miles.
It's got to be angular momentum because that's what, or angular velocity because that's what the plane's on before it takes off. It's on the Earth, and then their fairy tale idiot heliocentric Baltard spinning space monkey religion. That's to be angular. Because their Earth's spinning space monkey.
Well, that's the end of that then because maintain angular momentum. It's not sitting on the globe.
There's many problems here, Brian. I don't want to get into them right exactly at this moment, but we'll definitely get into it. Right? We have something. So thank you, Adam. Is there anything else?
There was one other one, but it just wasn't quite as eloquent. I could share.
Could we save it till later?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Hear ye, hear ye.